Right now, I'm glad to be joined in the studio. I've been looking forward to this. My friend Peggy Hubbard is here, and she has been out front on this Confederate monument story. And, Peggy, welcome into the studio, first of all. But I'm looking at the front page of the Post this morning, and some idiots went out and vandalized that statue again last night. And now the city will have to pay somebody to go down there and power wash it just so they can tear it down. Doesn't make any sense at all.
No. It's like I said on the Alman Report, this is not hate. This is ignorance. And I just put up a Facebook blog that would blow people's minds away. And that thing has only been up for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, and it's already gotten over 1,800 hits.
That's great.
And it's regarding to the history of our Black culture and the things we don't know as citizens of St. Louis. There are some things that people don't know. Soulard Market on Sundays sold slaves, and they billed it as a family fun event. But Soulard Market is still standing, and it is deep in history of slavery. And then you have Shaw's Garden, who was built by slaves, and Henry Shaw was one of the richest men in St. Louis and owned over 39 slaves. And he had a slave woman named Lucy who escaped to Alton. And I'm pretty sure people know the story about the editor Lovejoy, who was murdered. Nobody could ever prove who it was, but people believe that it was Henry Shaw that might have had a hand in it because his slave was brought back in chains. Her name was Lucy. She was tied to a tree, beaten and tortured like they do slaves back then. And she had 4 small children. And he sold each one of those children down south to different plantations. Ages as young as 8 years old and old as 10. Her 4 children, gone for her forever. And we have Shaw's Garden and Botanical Garden, and we celebrate this man. And he was Confederate. He sided with the Confederate. But we're going to leave his monument up. As long as it's making money for the city of St. Louis, I guess it's okay.
See, those are great examples, and you bring them up as a Black woman who grew up in this area, and you're watching what's going on with this monument. In other words, the point is, if you cover this monument up, or you bury it, or you move it, it doesn't change what happened in the Civil War. And if you tear down Shaw's Garden, or you tear down any of these things that you're talking about, it doesn't erase that memory. But if we don't learn from our history, we've all heard that old saying, why in the world would we want to just act like it didn't happen? We've come a long way in this country.
Well, this is what I was at the site where the rally is going to be held on Saturday, and I was talking to this young Black man, and he was telling me, it needs to be taken down, what they did to us and everything they did to us. And I'm going, sweetheart, do you know there were 3,776 freed Blacks in the North and South? Out of that, 12,907, they sold slaves. That was the number of slaves. This 3,776 freed Blacks sold 12,000 slaves. They were heavy in the slave trade. So we are victimizing ourselves right now in St. Louis, and we have victimized ourselves back then. But see, this is Black history nobody talks about.
No.
Nobody talks about this. And I have a list of over 40 names that were all Black that lived in Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, Louisiana. We had one guy, his name was Augusta Mayor, and he was very, very wealthy Black man in Louisiana. He owned 215 slaves. 215. See, this is Black history they don't tell us about.
Why do you think this issue has become such a big deal right now?
In all fairness, it's because of the Democrats. They're sore losers. Oh, we lost the election. So what can we do to piss off America more? Let's tear down some monuments. Robert E. Lee didn't even own slaves. The man taught his slaves to read, which was illegal back then. It was illegal. He taught them how to read and write. And then I have people that tell me, well, the Confederate flag is bad. They used it to terrorize us. Well, doggone it, they used the Bible and the American flags to terrorize blacks. So you can't argue that the history of our country was ugly. But you can argue that we need to stand together as Americans and protect our history. Because what's going to happen next, Mark? Next time we don't like something. The Cubs won the World Series. I don't like that they put up a statue. Let's tear that sucker down.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's crazy. And
let's talk about this rally that you've put together for this weekend. Mm-hmm. You put up a GoFundMe page.
Yes.
Your goal was to raise about $5,000.
$5,000.
You probably didn't realize at the time how expensive it was going to be.
No, I did not. And I raised $5,000. I'm up to $6,205. There are some unforeseen costs I did not anticipate.
Right.
And I'm asking people to go to Stand Up for America and donate, because I am not fighting for white history. I'm not fighting for black history. I'm fighting for the American history. Good, bad, otherwise, it is still part of what we are and who we are. And we need to start educating these young people because they're not teaching this. My son, when he was going to school, I asked him off the top of my head during Black History Month, I said, who was Nat Turner? He said, Ike Turner's brother. That's not funny.
They're not teaching. They're not teaching it. Right.
So I subscribed to the History Channel and got him a library card and said, boy, you need to learn, because we're not teaching the truth. And knowing that we sold as blacks our own people, and we had over 3,000 free slaves, free black people, and it was not just the North. Massachusetts had slaves. Vermont had slaves. Connecticut had slaves. So it was just not the North, the South. It was actually the North. And the Emancipation Proclamation was to free the slaves in the South. But the ones in the North, they were still there. The Emancipation Act didn't change anything for the people in the North. And people think, oh, slavery was just a South thing, and it wasn't.
We've put a link to Peggy's Facebook page up on the website. We're going to do that, Liz. And she's got a link to her GoFundMe page on there in case you have trouble finding it for some reason, want to donate. But Peggy, tell me more about the rally, the times, the location, what you're hoping to accomplish down there Saturday.
Okay, the rally is Stand Up for America, and what I envisioned was it was time for us as Americans. Maybe this will be a springboard platform for other Americans that want to do something but don't know how to go about it. It is to save our history. I am doing this because I want to not only bring people together, I also handed out an olive branch to, if you will, to the AFTA and Black Lives Matter people. And I told them that as long as I am there, I'm going to go by the teachings of Reverend King. I'm not going to cite violence. I will not allow violence. On the other end, I will not allow them to accost any of the people that are coming. This is to bring awareness to our city. This is to bring together everyone, black, white, young, old, rich, poor, white collar, blue collar, bikers, non-bikers. It doesn't matter. I just want you to come and celebrate our history, our culture. We're Americans. We're all Americans.
Be respectful. What time? Tell me again, location. Is it right there by the monument?
It is right at the monument. It is there. From what I understand, they are cleaning the monument yet again.
Right.
It's going to be there. I ask people, do not bring Confederate flags because I do not want to incite, enrage, and antagonize people. We're going to have this rally, and it's already being shoved in their face that I'm even have the audacity to do this as a black woman. But Mark, it's very critical because when Mayor Lyda Crewson announced this, it enraged me because we had, when she announced this, 7 homicides. Now we're up to 10. And she said she's doing this to heal the black community. It's not going to heal the black community taking down granite. We have black people that are being placed in the ground, and we're putting monuments up to their lives. And how sad is that? A child outside being shot in the chest last month? Really? And she wants to heal the black community? Give that money to the people. Make a program. My idea, Mark, is to make a program to put jobs, summer jobs, clean up the lots, the vacant buildings, give these guys an apprenticeship, get them off the street, give them some money in their pocket. If they pass this apprenticeship, then they can go on to work for the city in the parks department, water department, and street department. Give them some kind of semblance of hope that she cares. Taking down a monument is not showing you care. It's not going to do it.
Well, what time does the rally start Saturday?
It starts
Saturday, right?
at 11 a.m.
Okay. All right.
6 p.m. And I'm asking everyone to come. If you want to bring your family, we're going to have some games, music, food is free, soda, water, hot dogs, hamburgers. And I just want people to come and realize that St. Louis is better than this. We're not New Orleans. We're not South Carolina. Other states already passed laws to protect these Confederate statues because they are a part of American history. And when I looked at the information that I have in front of me with all of this, that we as black people owned slaves, and we as black people got rich off the suffering of our own people, it's like we're doing it all over again in the North City and South City community. We're brutalizing each other, and we're selling drugs and what have you not to our own people, and they're getting rich off of it. We're doing it again.
Peggy, thank you. Thank you so much for your effort. I'm sure you're going to have a huge crowd down there. The GoFundMe page, I hope, go to Peggy's Facebook page, and if you can't find it, go to our website at 971talk.com/Cox. We'll link you over there. She's got a link to her GoFundMe page on there to help raise more money. 11 to 6 on Saturday.
On Saturday.
By this Confederate monument in Forest Park.
Yes, and it's all American flags, and I'm also going to honor the military by flying the military flags as well, because these men that died, they are veterans just like myself. I'm a Navy veteran. They're veterans just as well.
Peggy, thank you so much.
My honor.
Great to have you in the studio. That's Peggy Hubbard. Go to her Facebook page. Check that stuff out. We're going to talk to my friend Bill Cleveland when we come back as well. And we're also going to check in with the American Legion before the end of the hour. We'll be right back.
Take it easy. Slow ride.
The Mark Cox Show on FM News Talk 97.1, 98.7, AM 1490, and 97.1talk.com. Dependable weather.
Clouds take control today. Chance of a couple of spotty
With
little...
Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray.
Brought to you by Air Comfort Service. Save up to $2,225 in rebates, plus 0% financing for 60 months on a new system. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Time for me to tell you about my friends over at Window World. Went out to their factory there in Earth City to check things out, to look at these white vinyl double-hung windows that they advertise for $189. It's what they're known for. You're not getting a lesser product. The $189 price is unbelievable. It's just about not matched anywhere in the market, which is why Window World is so well known for it. Simply the best for less. Any size window, vinyl, double hung, $189. There's installation on top of that, but folks, that's a great price. And if you do want to upgrade, they've got those available for you. It's all done here locally, and you call them. They're going to come out to your house in one of their bright blue trucks that says Window World on the side of it, and they're going to give you a free estimate, whether you need one window or 15, and they're going to give you the estimate, and you can